I and many others fell absolutely in love with Lifeweaver at first sight. However, we gotta talk about some very real issues he's having right now. Don't get me wrong, he has incredible potential, but these problems are making him feel awful right now. First off, his healing. When you heal, there are 4 drawbacks, which to me seems a little excessive. First, you need to charge up his healing. Second, he gets a movement penalty while charging his healing and for as long as you hold it. Third, it has a travel time on top of that and a fairly low healing amount for the time invested. Fourth, it's also limited by ammo, which add another time penalty to his healing. All of these penalties combined makes him feel so incredibly slow, and in many situations where you feel like you should be able to keep up, you're just lagging behind. And I find myself often having to use his dash to keep up rather than as a tool to escape. He also has this parting gift passive where he drops what I like to call the oopsie daisy, which is a little flower he leaves behind when he dies that allies or enemies can pick up for a pretty decent heal, like a little bonus health pack as an apology for dying. However, I find it absolutely wacky bonkers that enemies can pick this up getting double rewarded for killing a support. And Lifeweaver is notoriously weak against specifically flankers and divers who would benefit the most from picking up this parting gift. He also cannot do any damage while healing, and if you compare this to a Zenyatta, for example, who has a similar healing output that he can kind of set and forget while still doing damage and providing utility, it just feels bad and like you're locked into heal botting to provide any value. Especially also since Thorn Volley does tickle damage at best unless they're right next to him, making weapon swapping kind of not worth it at times. Which brings us up to the weapon swapping itself. There is literally only one word for it. CLUNKY. While it's easier to swap using the mouse scroll wheel and you can absolutely get proficient at it with practice, there are still so many times where you will accidentally needle teammates or heal enemies. Not to mention it messes with your muscle memory for other heroes like Kiriko, Moira, or Baptiste who have fluid switching between healing and damage. All of this, together with his limited escape options and the fact that his hitbox is so big it's basically the same size as a tank, while only having 200 HP, makes him incredibly easy to hunt down and eliminate. He just feels weak. But enough with the bad, what would I do to make him feel better? Well, first off, I echo the same sentiment of many others, and I would want to reconfigure his keybinds to make him feel smoother. Like making his dash like Hanzo's on a double jump, freeing up his shift key for pedal platform, and putting the needler on right click so we remove his need for weapon swapping entirely. And in fact, Blizzard agrees with needing to look at his control scheme, as Aaron Keller have put out some tweets saying they will share more info on that soon, so that's super exciting and I can't wait to see what they have in store for the changes there. I would 100% make it so the parting gift, or the oopsie daisy, can only be picked up by allies. My team is already suffering enough if one of their supports gets picked off. I would also remove some penalties from his healing, like the movement slow. That just makes him feel terrible and makes him, the already largest support on the roster, even easier to kill. I would also like to change his healing so it auto-charges and you click to release it onto a target instead of manually charging it up, especially if we're gonna keep it on an ammo limitation. However, if we're gonna keep manually charging the heal, then I think the healing ammo needs to go. It's another time punishment to an already slow heal, because remember, not only are we charging it up, it also has travel time before reaching its target. His ultimate is also just a teensy bit underwhelming and could use with like a tiny buff. I think it should either pulse faster at its current healing rate or the same pulsing speed but with a higher healing rate. I feel the only useful heal from the ulti right now is the very first initial wave as you place it down as an emergency top-up, because after that, people either die really fast in it or the enemy team kills it off entirely, which kinda sucks. I already love his playstyle and I will for sure main him in Season 4. I just want him to feel better to play, and hopefully with future patches, he will live up to his potential. Anyways, this has been a short Lifeweaver rant. I just needed to get this off my chest. I've been QueenE, you've been great. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!